You're watching News 3 Now at 5. New information on the deadly weekend crash tonight. Charges now pending for a 30-year-old Madison man after police say he hit a car with 3 students inside. All 3 died.
Dane County deputies say the 30-year-old man is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. They have not yet released his name and have not said what charges he could face.
Well, meanwhile, those 3 young men who died in that crash are being remembered tonight as athletes, friends, bright lights, and inspirations. And that's how principals from 2 area high schools describe them.
Simon Balesi, Jack Miller, and Evan Cradwell died in a car crash over the weekend. Our Brad Hamilton went to the memorial that is set up along the roadside west of Middleton, and he's live there tonight. Brad?
Yeah, well, we know the community has really come together. We've seen so many people joining into this memorial and really trying to remember the 3 young men that lost their lives right here on Saturday night. 3 young men whose lives were definitely taken far too soon. A growing memorial of flowers, crosses, and stuffed animals drew Salim Ahmed to the roadside outside his home today. But 2 nights before, it was a horrible boom that drew him to the same spot.
We all came on our deck and we were looking at it. And we're praying that there's nobody in there if it's a car.
At around 10:15 p.m. on Saturday, the Dane County Sheriff's Office says a car crashed into the back of another one, carrying 3 young men. Now it sent their car into a field, and it started on fire. Ahmed says that every second of this experience watching it was agonizing.
We could hear the cops asking, hey, is anybody in the car? Is anybody in the cars? And they're running around. There's a lot of cops that came very fast.
None of these 3 young men would survive. Today, Madison and Middleton schools both confirmed that the victims were students in their districts. Jack Miller and Evan Cradwell went to Middleton High School. Simon Balesi was a Madison West student and soccer player. West High's principal wrote Balesi was an inspiration to many, even though he was only at the school for just a year, adding that he personified the school's pride and community spirit. Now, Middleton's high school principal also released a statement today saying that each of these students was a bright light and that their loss will impact their students and staff profoundly. Their deaths also had an impact on Ahmed, the father of 2 children not far off of the age from these young men whose lives were ended right here.
It's a very tragic event, and we just hope it doesn't happen to anybody,
Well, and just breaking up about a couple of hours ago, we found out that charges are pending for a 30-year-old Madison man in regards to this investigation. Now reporting live in Middleton tonight, Brad Hamilton, News 3 Now.
Brad, thank you. 2 people are dead, 3 more with life-threatening injuries after a buggy crash in Grant County. This happened about 9:30 last night near highways 35 and 81 in the township of B-Town. Deputies say a man driving a van did not see a horse and buggy and hit it. All 5 people in the buggy were thrown from it. 12-year-old Daniel Miller, 52-year-old Linda Miller were pronounced dead at the scene. 3 others, including a 7- and 14-year-old, were all flown to Madison with life-threatening injuries. Both of the horses also perished in that crash.
Let's get a check on the weather now. A cloudy but mild start to the work week. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulti on the weather patio. Gary?
Susan, that kind of sums it up. We'll see lots of clouds. There'll be a little sunshine mixed in every now and then. Not much rain, at least over the next couple of days, but temperatures will be mild. You can see a visible cloud track, lots of clouds across the pretty much the entire state of Wisconsin. Doppler track right now shows most of the showers to our south and to our east across northern Illinois into parts of southern portions of Michigan, and just a sprinkle or 2 mainly over southeastern Wisconsin, but even those have been dissipating. Low temperatures this morning started out pretty mild. We're at 61 here in Madison. Most areas were in the middle 50s to the lower 60s, and high temperatures topped out right around the 70-degree mark, and current temperatures are just down a few degrees from those high temperatures earlier this afternoon. Look for an overnight low temperature of about 58 degrees by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, lots of clouds again, but are still a mild high temperature at 71 degrees. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes some rain, especially as we head toward the latter part of this week.
Gary, thank you. The mask mandate in Dane County has been extended until next month. The new order will start this Friday and will run until Friday, November 5th. There are no changes in the order. Everyone over the age of 2 is required to wear masks inside buildings. Dane County officials say nearly 85% of the eligible population, 12 and older, have received at least 1 dose of a vaccine. Christina Laurie explains how county officials came to this decision and what it means for your family.
Mid-July, Dane County was averaging 22 cases per 100,000 people. By mid-September, the rate was 10 times that, 209 cases per 100,000 people.
Today, cases are slightly lower, averaging about 150 a day. But Dane County still remains in the CDC's high level of community transmission. That's why public health officials decided to extend the countywide emergency order another month until November 5th. This means everyone aged 2 and up will still need to wear a mask when indoors around people they don't live with.
We know that most respiratory illnesses are spread by droplets, and that's what really makes masks imperative.
As always, doctors say if you don't like the mandates, get vaccinated. Vaccines work, they're free, and they're easy to find. You can schedule your appointment today at the links we've posted up on our website. Reporting from downtown Madison for News 3 Now, I'm Christina Laurie.
UW Health says nearly all of its employees are following its COVID vaccine requirement. Employees were required to get the first dose by the 1st of this month, their second by November 1st. 96% of UW Health employees got at least that first dose, while less than 4% filed a medical or religious exemption. So that means 99.96% of the over 16,000 people are compliant with UW Health's COVID policy.
That feels really good. It didn't happen by accident. We spent a lot of time talking with folks, trying to understand where they were coming from, where we were coming from. And in the end, I think really that camaraderie that we have at UW Health, that value of, let's take care of ourselves and our community, let's keep our patients safe, it came through.
SSM Health announced last week 99.5% of its staff is vaccinated.
The Milwaukee Bucks are requiring fans who are seated within 15 feet of the court to show proof that they are vaccinated or that they've had a negative COVID test within 48 hours of the game. The fans who are within 15 feet of the court will also be required to wear masks while in their seats. Right now, 54% of Wisconsin's total population has completed its vaccine series. That's over 3.1 million people. And in Dane County, 71.1% of the population is considered fully vaccinated.
A brand new $168 million cheese factory is expected to open in Little Chute late next year. That's near Appleton. Governor Evers announcing $4.5 million in tax credits for that project. AgriPure, which is the largest dairy cooperative in North America, anticipates spending nearly $60 million more a year on milk from Wisconsin farms. The Steffens of Steffens Dairy Farm, LLC, will serve as hosts for this announcement.
With this expansion, AgriPure is estimating they will be purchasing nearly $60 million more per year in additional milk from farms just like the Steffens.
We'll always have a place for our milk to go, and I think that's important because farmers don't always know, if that's going to be a continuing.
The expansion is expected to create 54 jobs and to continue to support the local dairy industry.
A hotly contested Wisconsin congressional seat finally has a declared Democrat after longtime Congressman Ron Kind announced his retirement earlier this year.
With the departure of a familiar name and a new political map looming, Naomi Coles explains why this race will mean a lot to people nationwide, not just here in Wisconsin. Naomi.
It's one of just 7 House seats across the country that voted for Trump and a Democrat in 2020. Kind narrowly beat Republican challenger Derek Van Orden, who has raised more than $1 million in just the last 3 months as he revs up for a second try. That's something we'll see a lot of in this race. Millions in fundraising and millions more in outside money pouring into an election that could help tip the balance of power in the House of Representatives. To keep it, newly elected State Senator Brad Pfaff and longtime Kind staffer will have to strike a similar moderate tone to his predecessor.
Pfaff is going to try to tap into some of the themes that worked for Kind so well over the years. Kind always positioned himself as not a typical Washington Democrat, as somebody who's willing to work with Republicans. Pfaff has tapped right into that right away in his opening campaign video.
Kind has made the list of most bipartisan in the House many times in his career, and it's one of the things that likely helped keep his seat as his district trended more Republican over the years. Now at 6 o'clock, I'll show you examples of new maps that could well become the story of this election and how they'll affect the delicate balance of power in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's swingiest congressional district.
Naomi, thank you. The first Democrat is announcing her candidacy for lieutenant governor. State Senator Lena Taylor announced she is running for the position this morning. The Democrat from Milwaukee has been a state senator since 2005.
I'm enthusiastic about filing to fill the vacancy on the Democratic ticket with our great Governor Tony Evers as we move forward as a state under his leadership.
So far, 3 Republicans have announced they are running for lieutenant governor. Patrick Testin, a state senator from Stevens Point, Ben Vogel, a former aide to Senator Ron Johnson, and David Varnum, the mayor of Lancaster.
A pair of donors giving a combined $200,000 to Overture Center in support of the venue's ongoing donation match campaign. Madison resident Deirdre Garten and J.H. Findorf and Son are those donors. Findorf president CEO Jim Yaley said the company made the donation because of its longstanding connection with the Overture Center. The donations will be used to help support the venue's performances and programs along with its employees.
Many were laid off or had reduced schedules during our closure, and so we are bringing our staffing back up, and we need to be able to support these incredible people who make these experiences happen on a daily basis.
And the Overture Center's match campaign runs through December 31st.
Wisconsin wildlife officials are limiting the statewide quota for an upcoming wolf hunt at 130. The DNR made the announcement this afternoon, deciding on a drastically lower number compared to the 300 wolf quota the DNR board approved in August. The department itself has the power to make the final decision and settled on 130 after hunters blew past a quota of 119 earlier this year by killing 218 wolves in just 4 days in February. The DNR is required by state law to hold a season in November.
Cleanup underway in California after a massive oil spill closes California beaches and is now threatening wildlife. What may have caused it? Well, that's next at 5.
After a chest injury in the Michigan game, will quarterback Graham Mertz be ready for the game this weekend at Illinois? We'll hear from him next hour on News 3 Now at 6.
And the markets start the week on a down note. The Dow falling more than 323 points. The NASDAQ falls 321. And the S&P down more than 56. We'll be right back.
Get more enjoyment out of your outdoor space with patio enclosures. Right now, receive up to $6,500 off sunrooms. This offer won't last long. Call today. Patio enclosures.
Fry Construction is celebrating 26 years of providing excellence in home improvements. We strive to exceed the expectations of our clients with each and every project we do. Respected by your neighbors and voted Best of Madison 2 years in a row. Best kitchen and bath design, best roofer. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself and save 26% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
At U.S. Cellular, we know the local landscape, so we can help everyone stay connected for less. And less also means more, as in more choice. While the other guys may limit your options, at U.S. Cellular, you choose any phone and we make it free. That's right. Visit our store and any phone you see is free. Plus, get unlimited data for $30 a month and get the most out of our state-of-the-art network, wherever you choose to go. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
I'm home.
Daddy! Are you making my favorite?
Yes. Happy birthday, dear Grandma.
Just higher.
Come on, boy. Let's go outside.
Sprinklers protect what fire will destroy. Whether you live in a house or a high-rise, protect it with fire sprinklers. Fire sprinklers buy time. Time buys life. Learn more at firesprinklersbylife.com.
Can you get this? I don't have my wallet.
Oh, really? It's funny how that always happens.
It's funny.
With BMO Harris, you don't need your wallet. You can get money from any BMO ATM using your phone.
Uh-oh, looks like someone can buy their own tacos.
You could also pay them back with Zelle.
So many ways for you to pay.
Awesome.
Order for BMO.
Ooh, tacos, banking. Some things are made to be mobile.
That feeling you get when your phone is your wallet. That's the BMO effect. And right now, open a new BMO Harris account online in just 5 minutes.
Get more enjoyment out of your outdoor space with patio enclosures. Right now, receive up to $6,500 off sunrooms. This offer won't last long. Call today.
Patio enclosures.
Wind, thunderstorms, lightning, severe weather is going to happen. The question is, will it be in your path? And how's it going to affect you? First Warn Weather, your certified most accurate forecast team, takes action when severe weather threatens, alerting you with First Warn Weather alerts, pinpointing where the dangers are and where the storms are headed. On air, online, and on social media. Trust Madison's certified most accurate First Warn Weather, keeping you ahead of the storm. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Officials are looking into whether a ship's anchor may have struck an oil pipeline on the ocean floor, causing a massive leak of crude oil into waters off Southern California. At least 126,000 gallons of oil began pouring into the Pacific Ocean over the weekend from an underwater pipeline about 4.5 miles offshore, sending slicks of oil from Huntington Beach to Dana Point. The oil is washing up on popular beaches and threatening wildlife, especially birds. Crews are trying to contain the spill.
We have a fleet of boats out there that are using containment boom to isolate that oil and collect it in what we call skimmers. And then onshore, we have shoreline assessment teams. What they're doing is they're walking the beaches, they're looking at sensitive areas.
Amplify Energy, which owns the pipeline, shut the line down and is pledging full cooperation with the cleanup effort.
Police in Tucson say one person is in custody after someone opened fire on board an Amtrak train. This happened this morning on a train parked at the station in the city's downtown. An Amtrak spokesman said there are no reported injuries to the crew or passengers. Passengers say after hearing shots had been fired, they huddled together before police told them to flee. There were 137 passengers, 11 crew members on the train. All were safely evacuated to the station.
The Senate is set to begin debate this afternoon on an extension of the debt ceiling. The Treasury Department says Congress has to raise the debt ceiling in the next 2 weeks or the U.S. will default on its loans for the first time in American history. But Republicans are refusing to negotiate on the debt ceiling as long as Democrats are trying to pass President Biden's legislative agenda on their own. President Biden says Congress needs to act now to raise the debt ceiling before the October 18th deadline, when the country will run out of money to pay its bills.
Social Security benefits. The American people are promised salaries for servicemen and women, benefits for veterans. We're going to have to raise the debt limit if we're going to meet those obligations.
Minority Leader Mitch McConnell released a letter saying Democrats should raise it on their own since they're working to pass a proposed $3.5 trillion spending bill. Well, let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
We've had a fair amount of clouds around, but you can see there's almost no rain across southern Wisconsin. Every once in a while, you'll see a tiny little sprinkle here or there, but really isn't amounting to very much. And I think most of us will stay dry for the next couple of days. The better aerial coverage of showers down to the south across parts of northeastern Illinois and then across Michigan and Indiana. The area of low pressure responsible for these showers is well off to the east, but the clouds and showers hang back. And then just to the west of us, skies clear out across much of Minnesota and Iowa, but that clearing will probably stay just out to the west of us. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Our temperatures will stay mild. We'll see above normal temperatures for the rest of this week and probably through most of next week. Again, the average high temperature now should be dropping down into the middle to lower 60s, and we're going to stay at or above 70 all the way through at least the middle of next week. Dry weather with plenty of clouds for the next couple of days, at least through Wednesday, and then we'll see some shower or thunderstorm chances, especially Thursday, and then again maybe Saturday night or Sunday as a cold front comes through the area. But the Climate Prediction Center updated outlook for the month of October calling for above normal temperatures for much of the country with the highest probabilities right here. So that warm start, or the warm weather we had at the end of September that's gone into October looks like it's going to stick around for a while. But precipitation is expected to be above normal through much of the central part of the country because the west will stay cooler than normal, the east will stay warmer than normal, and in between, that's where the active storm track will be. Speaking of storms, Hurricane Sam still out there. Maximum sustained winds at 90 miles per hour. Look at where it is. I mean, in relation to Newfoundland, this is incredible that the storm is still a hurricane this far north. And the forecast from the National Hurricane Center has it lose its tropical characteristics, but still has winds of 50 miles per hour or greater as it continues to kind of spiral around and then eventually maybe head back toward the west with the rain on the northern edge of the storm changing over to snow near Greenland. As we look at current temperatures across the Midwest, our temperatures are comfortable, but out to the west, it still looks like summer. Temperatures well into the 80s through much of the western high plains, and this pattern is not going to shift. Starting to see that, what we call that omega block develop again, where the jet stream kind of looks like the Greek letter omega. This time it's centered a little bit farther out to the west than it was here when we had our temperatures well into the 80s last week. But this is a pattern that is very slow to change, and if you're in an area where you're on the side of the omega block where you have a dip in the jet stream and you have an area of low pressure aloft, unfortunately, you stay underneath the clouds. So that dividing line is just out to the west of us. And right now, it looks like the western part of the Midwest will stay warm and dry with sunny skies. We'll have more clouds, but probably not much in the way of rain here. You can see the area of low pressure I was talking about out to the east near Detroit, Michigan. The warmer weather is out to the west where the skies have been sunny, but even here, temperatures are still milder than normal. 60s across much of Wisconsin with 70s farther out to the west. And then you get west of the Twin Cities, and temperatures are in the 80s. So for tomorrow, look for more clouds, mostly cloudy day, but still be mild with a high temperature of 71, and I'm not looking for any rain. 7 to 10 day forecast, variably cloudy on Wednesday with a high of 74. Chance for a shower or thunderstorm Wednesday night. Thursday, a better chance for some showers or thunderstorms that can linger into Friday. Slight chance on Saturday, but the winds will pick up out of the south, and temperatures could be close to 80, and then we'll see temperatures remain in the 70s for next week. Some shower or thunderstorm chances around Monday afternoon into Monday night, and then again toward the end of next week, and maybe a little bit of a cool down beyond that. As we check out first warn traffic, I was looking at the traffic map and I thought, boy, this almost seems like it's the middle of the night because I don't see any problems along the Beltline. Traffic moving pretty much at the posted speed limits, as well as I-39, 90, and 94 on the east side of Madison. So travel times on the Beltline, 15 minutes in either direction between University Avenue and the interstate. Beltline to Janesville on I-39-90 is a 25-minute commute down to the south. Middleton to Sauk City on US 12 is a quick 16 minutes, as is the trip from downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. At your News 3 Now, first warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. The Supreme Court starts hearing cases today that could have a huge impact. This as President Biden is asking Congress to pass a law to protect Roe v. Wade. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
How about poor Fred Wilson?
What a shame. So soon after retiring.
I hear his wife needed help with the funeral expenses.
That's ridiculous. He had Social Security.
When my brother died, his wife received a check from Social Security, all right, for $255. The funeral costs were well over $8,000. How on earth did she pay for it? Fortunately, my brother bought additional life insurance before he retired. I bet that cost a pretty penny, huh? Not with Colonial Penn. Coverage options start at just $9.95 a month. Well, less than 35 cents a day. I have it myself.
We both do.
Both of you?
That's right. Neither of us had to answer any health questions or take a physical exam. In fact, no one our age can be turned down for any health reason.
No one?
Nope.
Is this a plan that offers a lot of protection at first and then reduces it little by little each year?
No. I've had this coverage for years. My benefit never decreases as I get older.
Your rates go up every year, right?
No, not at all.
Friends keep telling friends about guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. With this coverage, your premium never increases for any reason, and your benefit won't decrease simply because you grow older. Options start at just $9.95 a month. If you're age 50 to 85, you cannot be turned down because of your health. Colonial Penn specializes in protection for mature men and women. To find out more, call now.
Call now and you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. Call 1-800-797-8989 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-797-8989. There's no risk. That number again is 1-800-797-8989. 1-800-797-8989. Call now.
Why settle for any Medicare plan when you can choose 5-star Medicare Advantage HMO plans exclusively from Quartz? Starting as low as $0 per month, including medical, hospital, and prescriptions, and dental, vision, and hearing aid benefits. Learn more by requesting your free Medicare Advantage plan comparison guide from Quartz today. Quartz offers the region's top-rated Medicare Advantage plans, and they're now even more exciting. New for 2022, the Quartz CashCard gives you the freedom to spend up to $460 annually on a variety of health-related products and services. And Quartz gives you access to an all-star team of high-quality providers featuring UW Health, giving you the 5-star treatment you deserve. Because at Quartz, you're the star of our 5-star Medicare Advantage plans. Learn more now by requesting your free Medicare Advantage plan comparison guide from Quartz today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The Supreme Court began its first in-person term since March of 2020 with plans to hear arguments on some of the most divisive issues of our time, including gun rights and abortion. Inside, they heard oral arguments over 2 cases, a groundwater rights dispute between Mississippi and Tennessee, and a challenge to the Armed Career Criminal Act. In December, justices will hear arguments on a Mississippi law that bans the practice of abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The case, just one of several direct challenges to Roe v. Wade from Republican-led states.
This is not a case where they're trying to chip away a little bit. They're going for the whole thing.
Meanwhile, picketers called on the court to uphold Roe v. Wade, the 1973 ruling that made abortion a constitutional right.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration is reversing a ban on abortion referrals by federally funded family planning clinics. Today's action by the Department of Health and Human Services lifts a Trump-era restriction as political and legal battles over abortion grow sharper from Texas to the U.S. Supreme Court. Groups representing the clinics say they hope the rule reversal leads to the return of hundreds of service providers that left the program to protest the Trump administration's policy. HHS has estimated the upheaval led to as many as 180,000 unintended pregnancies. Tonight's Powerball drawing is worth an estimated $670 million. The jackpot rolled over again after there was no winner in Saturday's drawing. The Powerball has been rolling over for months. The jackpot was last hit in June. If someone wins tonight, they will take home a cash payout of $486 million before taxes.
Now we're back with a final check of your First Warn forecast when we return.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
Guys, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad and your initial consultation is free.
We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider.
Call Peak Performance for Men today.
Give your bathroom a fresh update and get 11% off everything now at Menards. Prevent damage from excess moisture with a new bath fan. Braun bath fans are both functional and beautiful. Right now, they're all 11% off. Improve the air quality in your home and reduce harmful particles by up to 96% with DuPont air filters. Menards carries a variety of sizes in stock. And right now, they're all 11% off.
Save big money at Menards.
Discover what's in store at Habitat Restore Dane County. You'll find something new every time you visit to keep your project on budget with low price and high quality home supplies. For one-of-a-kind items, shop Habitat Restore Dane County today.
Join Anytime Fitness for just $1 now through October 12th. Anytime Fitness gives you 24/7 support with expert coaching on all things fitness, nutrition, and everything in between. Now through October 12th, join for just $1. Visit anytimefitness.com today.
Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows.
Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows. Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows.
From Scott the Window Guy at AHT Wisconsin Window.
I'm Scott the Window Guy from AHT Wisconsin Windows. Our solid core composite frame triple pane window is the most energy efficient window made for Wisconsin no matter what the season. Get free installation on any door or window purchase at scottthewindowguy.com.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
Let's go back to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
Well, lots of clouds across at least the central and eastern parts of our viewing area. There's the view from the Edgewater Skycam in Madison, but the Queeby Radio Skycam in Platteville shows skies have cleared out at least temporarily over Platteville, and you can see almost no rain across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now range from around 70 in the western parts of our viewing area where there is some sunshine to the 60s to the east. Temperatures will drop to the upper 50s tonight, highs tomorrow, lower 70s. Still a fair amount of cloud cover. Some rain chances about Thursday and Friday. Warm this weekend, and then temperatures still above normal for next week.
All right, Gary, thanks. CBS Evening News coming your way next. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.